Session 13 covers the examples for aquatic terrestrial ecosystem. In aquatic ecosystem is a body water communities organisms that are dependent on each other and their environment life. In the aquatic ecosystem, the two main types of aquatic ecosystems, the marine ecosystem and the freshwater ecosystem. In the marine water ecosystem, it's the largest. All ecosystem covers approximately 71% of the Earth's surface. It contains approximately 97% of the planet water. They are generate only the 32%. They are distinct from the freshwater ecosystem by the presence of dissolved compounds, especially in the salts in the water approximately 85%. In the marine ecosystem can be divided into many zones depending upon the water depth and shoreline features. The oceanic zone is the vast open part of the ocean where animals such as whales, sharks and tuna live, and benthic zone consists of the substratus. The water where many invertebrate live. The inert tidal zone is the area between high and low tides. In the figure it is termed the littoral zones. In the freshwater ecosystem, it covers 0.78% of the Earth's surface, inhabit 0.009% of its total water. They are generate nearly 3%. It is the net primary production. Freshwater ecosystem contains nearly only the 41% of the world fish species. Lakes ecosystem can be divided into the zones on the common system divides lakes into the three zones. The first is the littoral zone, second one is the shallow zone and the shore zone. This is the rooted wetland plants occur the offshores is divided into the two further zones and open water zones. Deep water zones. In the open water zone is the sunlight support for the photosynthetic algae. Lentic water bodies. The lentic water bodies can be part of the lentic system. They are naturally along with the most of the lakes shores with wetland in the littoral zone being the dependent upon the slope of the shorelines. In the amount of natural changes water level within the among the years for often dead the trees accumulate in this zone either from windfalls or the shore logs transported to the site during the floods. Next one is the ponds. Ponds are the small water bodies with shallow and still water marshes. The aquatic plants, they can be further divided into the four zones: vegetation zone, open water, bottom, mud and surface film size. The depth of the ponds often varies greatly with the time of the many ponds that produce the spring flooding from the rivers. Food webs are the based both on the free floating algae and upon the aquatic plants. In the zones, vegetation zone, open water bottom, mud and surface film, the size of the depth of the ponds often varies greatly with the time of many ponds of vary produced by spring flooding from the rivers. In the food web, based on the free floating algae upon the aquatic plants, Lotic Sea also river ecosystem. The major zones in the river ecosystem are determined by the riverbed gradient. The velocity of the current, the faster moving turbulent water typically contain the greater concentration of dissolved oxygen which supports the greater biodiversity. In the riparian forest, most of the derived from the trees but wider streams and the function is the main aquatic ecosystem perform many important environmental functions, for example, recycle nutrient, purify the water, and floods, recharge the groundwater, and provide habitats. Wildlife, it is the human recreation and very important. Tourism industry, especially in the coastal region. The health of the aquatic ecosystem degrade when the ecosystem ability to absorb a stress. The exceed of the stress on aquatic ecosystem, they result in the physical, chemical and biological alterations. The environment physical alterations include changes in water temperature, water flow and light. The chemical alterations include the change in the loading rates, biot, the nutrients oxygen consuming the material.